2K Sports. We've got some NBA action for you coming up. With Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And our special guest at the broadcast table for this one, the celebrated Shams Charania. Hey, Shams, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Kevin, thanks so much. Always fun to hang out with you and all your crew and talk basketball.
All right, I told Doris and Greg and David, just buckle up because we are going to be on a great ride with you. Look at the 76ers starting group. We've got the great one, Williamson out there with Tracy McGrady. Then there's Yao, and it's Hardaway in at the shooting guard position. And for Indiana, we've got Cam Thomas. Towns is out there with Holmgren. And it's Rose, and it's Anunoby in at the 3 slot.
Here we go.
So Philadelphia will get the first possession. McGrady passes to the great one. Back to McGrady. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Kicks it out to Williamson. Just 5 to shoot. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And Thomas, here we go. Good D by Hardaway. And the 76ers with possession. Pass to the great one. And it's good, assisting on the play with Hardaway.
Always feels good getting that first one in the bank.
And will that get him rolling? Will it get his team rolling? This should be an interesting night.
Now here's Thomas. They get a hand on it. Williamson with it. Now Thomas defending. Here's the great one. Sinks the triple. The great one's got 5 points so far.
And every year, Williamson seems to take another leap as a distributor. Great pass on that one.
And the league continuing, Shams, to tweak the rules around replay review. But would you set a time limit to maybe tweak it a little bit?
Have to, right? Especially some of these games and the way they're ending. It's something to try if you can't find a cause to really overturn in a minute or two. Let's keep this game moving. I think we all love a free-flowing game.
I agree. Now, here's Holmgren. Last time out, he had 13 points. Here's Towns. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Listen, Karl Anthony Towns is unafraid to take it right at the defense on the inside. Play through the chest. That's nice.
Now against Towns. Baseline J on the way. The Pacers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Oh, and the jam by Thomas.
Oh, boy, he's dancing with the basketball. It's on a string. Cam Thomas gets the space and separation he needs.
To end the run, and the shot goes in. 7 points for the great one.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Pass to Holmgren. Launches a 3. Rebound by Yao Ming. So for the 76ers, the last game, a win against the Raptors in Toronto. The great one with the bucket.
And Yao just so big, he's able to see over the top of the defense, and that allows him to find an open teammate.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Rick Carlisle and I did speak a few minutes ago. We talked about trying to contain someone like Zion Williamson. Coach said it's like trying to put out a fire with a squirt gun. He's just so explosive and physical. The only good option is to build walls and try to cut him off from the hoop. See how that works out for them. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
And we will have a timeout called by Nick Nurse. Wants to regroup and go over the strategy. He takes it in. The great one with the bucket.
Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
Rose with the ball. Pass to Holmgren. Here's Anunoby. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Comes up empty down low. Here's the great one. Rose with the block. And a fast break now for the Pacers. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Boy, for a man his size, Towns does a sensational job running the floor.
Well, we've talked about expansion. That has been floated around. We know that teams would have to realign. Shams, any ideas on which teams might have to shift with expansion in the East or West?
Certainly, most of the potential expansion cities, the high-level ones, have been noted as teams in the West. Maybe you have a team out east that is in the West moving into the Eastern Conference. But the league could obviously surprise everyone with a different solution. Maybe having one expansion team be an Eastern Conference team, one being a West. There's several options that Adam Silver and the NBA have.
I would think New Orleans would be one of those teams, right? Just where they are geographically. Memphis, those two teams are in the West, and I could see them maybe going east. Possible?
Certainly Minnesota and Memphis. Those are two teams that, to me, have an Eastern Conference feel.
Here's Rose. Philadelphia able to drain the three. Now here's Holmgren from the arc. A three-pointer is right on target.
And I love the competitive edge Holmgren plays with, coming right back with his own triple.
Hardaway passes to the great one. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
The kick out to Anunoby. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Anunoby's got 8 points.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Here's the great one. And the 76ers get it back. Yeah, and the shot goes down.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Outside, Towns. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Williamson dishes to Hardaway. Over Rose. Again, Philadelphia.
And it's that in-between area, the mid-range. It's where Hardaway is probably most comfortable with his shot.
Rose kicks to Thomas. Driving in, and then Thomas with the dunk.
And offensively right now, each team getting what it wants.
Yeah, this is already a high-scoring game, but we knew that was a possibility coming into this one.
Andrew Nembhard's checked in for Thomas. And Philadelphia also making a switch. O'Neal's checked in. Hey, Shams, I know you're connected throughout the NBA into a lot of front offices, but have you ever thought about maybe shifting gears a little bit and working for a team?
There is always intrigue into something like that, Kevin, but I've seen how tough the environment can be, and honestly, it is really much more fun to be talking to you on this side of the media world and the media equation of the NBA. But listen, there's always intrigue with the front office.
And a lot of opportunities. I know you're looking, but thank you for your honesty in that one.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
Hits it from three-point range.
You love to see Karl Anthony Towns with the great decision-making. Passes up a scoring opportunity to find a teammate.
Now here is Hardaway. Pass to the great one. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. Hardaway has got 3 assists now in this one.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
Here's Towns. Turned in an outstanding game against New York. Yao with the block.
Oh, this is the impact Ming makes defensively, using that huge reach to block or alter shots.
And that's a block right there. He swats that ball away with some energy.
And that has got to help the morale of this team. Let's see if that sets up a run here.
Now here's Rose. 23 points his last outing. Anunoby has the open look. And Indiana, another 3.
Boy, just tremendous concentration on deep range. OG Anunoby is really coming along as a shooter.
And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. for the 76ers. Edey's checked in for Yao. Christie comes in for Hardaway. And it's Price in for Tracy McGrady. You communicate so much with NBA GMs. You talk with owners. You talk with personnel people. Knowing what they do, what is an overlooked part of how they operate their day-to-day job?
And I got to say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still, a magnificent move to the rim. From deep, Rose, and Philadelphia grabs the miss. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
And they really took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series. And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Indiana leading by 3. Pass to Holmgren. Nembhard with it. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Holmgren kicks to Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And the shot will not go from Anunoby. And the points coming for them now, Greg, in bunches.
And we're seeing what a high-octane offense should look like. All right, a chance to check out numbers for Chet Holmgren. Coming off a terrific season. He put in about 16 points a game last year, 8 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And it's nice to be able to bring someone with his defensive skill set off the bench.
I think, in fact, to win a championship, you usually need a guy like this on your roster.
DeBusschere, he's checked in for the Pacers. Up top, Nembhard. Defended by Christie. Nembhard, the pass to DeBusschere. Drills the three-pointer. And the Pacers lead by 4.
And he gives up some size on that play, but the defender fails to close the gap.
It's incredible to me how players have become so adept at creating just enough space to get the shot off. Nicely done.
The shot's good from Christie.
Well, you love the activity out there. What a play. This guy is busy on the offensive end.
Rose against Price. Count it.
We've seen this a time or two. Derrick Rose in the mid-range doing work.
The 76ers trail by 3. We have all these great foreign players. Maybe 3 of the top 5 players in the NBA are all foreign players, right? And so much was made of Anthony Edwards. Here's a 22-year-old American player who has maybe the charisma, the game, the everything we could package. It could be our next great player. Is there ever talk around the league about why are European players being so dominant? Where are the great young American players to compete against this great influx of international players?
The grassroots programs, you have to look at what happens abroad and in the States. You have to give a lot of credit to the way that they develop players. Over in Europe, in any of those regions, they do a great job, and those players are hungry, they're driven, they're passionate. They're trying to get here to the States and play basketball at the highest level in the NBA. And you see at the amateur level, there can be a lot of fluidity, there can be a lot of influx, and players are given so much so soon in America. So to be able to have that chip on your shoulder, to have the passion, and to exude the confidence that Anthony Edwards has, the younger generation of players definitely have someone in Anthony Edwards to look up to.
Towns sets the pick for Anunoby. And then Anunoby slams it in.
How special can OG Anunoby be? Show off and show out.
Going inside, and the wide open shot from Price. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Rose, outside Towns. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Towns has got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Pacers. Pass to the great one. And it's blocked. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. Chet Holmgren, he's checked in for the Pacers. On the 76ers, Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for the Pacers. Cameron Thomas comes in for Andrew Nembhard. And Philadelphia has possession. It's a 5-point game. Here's Williamson, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one is on Towns. Hey, Sean, for the past decade that you've been a major player in the NBA, it's been LeBron's league, it's been Curry's league. Who else is going to take over this league, you think, coming up around the corner?
Given the NBA Finals we just had, have to throw in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Luka Doncic into the fold as far as faces of the NBA. But Nikola Jokic is so good. He will be one of the guys for a while. Giannis Antetokounmpo, you have to mention him as well. But ultimately, you have to also keep an eye on Victor Wembanyama, the way that Victor Wembanyama could take over the league. And already, so early, was so special. Victor Wembanyama is someone to keep an eye on.
Okay, they just passed a note down to me, our gang here. What about Anthony Edwards at Minnesota? He's another one, right? Young American player who is really making an impact.
Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, you have to consider those two as well. And it's special, the crop of young players that we have coming up in this league. One of them is sure to emerge as this generation's, whether you want to call it Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, there will be a face on this crop.
And we cannot wait. So with George on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. Towns is out there with Chandler. Then it's DeBusschere. Then it's Thomas. And it's Rose in at the point guard position.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Outside Thomas. Towns a screen on McGrady. From deep, Thomas. And it's the great one with the rebound. Philadelphia leading by 9. Hardaway passes to Williams. Hammer it home! Hammer it home, baby!
That is authority right there.
It was. Over to the left wing. Back to Rose. It's deflected. Here's Edey. He's got 7. Pass to the great one. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. The great one's got the lead up to 14 now for the 76ers. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the 76ers?
How about the ferocity we have seen from them on defense? I mean, they're looking to contest every shot that goes up.
And boy, have they started out quick, running the floor, taking advantage of their speed.
And Shams, nothing gets a workout like your phone. We're here, we're talking NBA, we're watching this game. We got this great group here courtside. You've got 2 phones working, and I'm sure there's a third hidden in your back. Can you estimate how many texts do you send and receive a day? Is there even a number we can put with that?
Kevin, how many texts do you get a day related to NBA info? You're coming at me. You know the job is, it's hundreds of messages flooding my phone on a daily basis, and the screen time usually in busy seasons tends to be closer to 18 to 20 hours, but this is what we sign up for. This is what we love to inform the audience.
Oh, and I know you love every second of it. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, this summer we saw the NBA break up its draft into 2 days. The next idea, a bigger break between the draft and the start of free agency. The common thread is giving front offices more time to strategize around these highly consequential decision periods, the NBA calendar. Kevin?
Interesting, DA. Thank you. And Towns. drops them both.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
To the middle, here's O'Neal. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And it's Rose with the ball for Indiana. They trail by 16. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
Yeah, facing that hostile crowd, they just found a way to kind of tune out the noise and focus on the game.
Well, the best way to silence the crowd is with your offensive game. Those fans got quiet in a hurry when the buckets started raining down.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
Boy, when you talk about rhythm scorer, the first guy or one of the first guys to come to mind is Cam Thomas. Very difficult to slow him down when he gets on a heater.
And if you want athletic ability, look no further. Hardaway with a stylish game.
Pass to Towns. Over Williamson. And Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 4 this quarter. Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes and less of a chance of super teams and just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax. It's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron. And that, certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trade moves.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Wow, the size and speed of Towns, a natural-born highlight reel.
And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Always so much fun to have Shams join us. No one with a better pulse on the NBA.
Man, Shams is always the first guy to know about the big moves around the NBA. Love hearing what he has to say.
I'll tell you, OG Anunoby showing you what could happen if he puts it all together. Doing work, OG.
Here's the great one. Oh!
Goodness. And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to. You see the playmaking ability of Williamson there. Great pass to set up his teammate.
32 seconds left now here in the second. Outside, Towns. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. And stolen by Yao. Here's Mashburn. Oh, he nails it just in time.
One eye on the rim, one on the clock. What a play.
Coaches talk about ending quarters well. You cannot do it better than that.
And so it's Philadelphia, riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. With Rick Carlisle. Coach, what needs to happen on the defensive end to get back on track?
Well, a lot of things need to get better. Our level of force defensively is not there. We got to pick it up. We got to play with a lot more collective force.
We'll see if you can bring the noise more as the game goes on. Thanks very much. Back to you.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
Hello and welcome. Before we take a look at the action from the first half, a brief overview of some upcoming games.
Well, right now for Indiana, you can already see they have the makings of a good team, but they also have things to iron out.
Splitting the first two games, this next one could indicate which direction they're headed. And getting back to our current contest, very impressive first half performance for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Seems like they can't miss, just rolling offensively, getting whatever they want.
You haven't heard this in a while, fellas. SLN, Shaq-like numbers. When you're doing that, it means dominance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been one outstanding game from the Great One.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
What I love is they've continued to feed this guy, ride the hot hand until the defense does something about it.
And so, in the game for the 76ers, Great One out there with Hardaway. Then there's Yao. Then it's Tracy McGrady. And it's Williamson in at the power forwards position. And he comes up with the deuce. For years, it seemed like the league was going to go smaller. But lately, Greg, it seems like size is back in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the MVP award, right? Centers and Jokic and Embiid winning it recently. Even Giannis, I wouldn't consider him small. And just overall around the NBA, it feels like bigger teams are having more success.
DB thinking about Cam Thomas. When he gets on a roll, he is tough to stop.
Kevin, he reminds me a little bit of the microwave Vinnie Johnson back in the days of Detroit. When this guy is hot, get out of his way and let him do his thing.
Pass to Yao. Hardaway kicks to Williamson. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
And you have to admire how hard Zion plays. It makes defenders nervous and forces them to overcommit.
And Greg, we know the Pacers have to improve defensively. But where do they start?
Candidly, Kevin, I feel like they're too soft. Giving up offensive rebounds, cheap fouls, they've got to be tougher mentally and physically, especially on the interior.
The Great One passes to Hardaway. A stupendous finish in traffic. Hardaway has got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Pass to the Great One. There's Williamson with the three. He's off on that one. Good D by Thomas. For Indiana, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. And the foul called on the Great One. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Towns, the pass to Anunoby. Rose attacking, and Rose throws it down.
And this is where Derrick Rose makes his money on the offensive end. Takes the action right to the rack.
Pass to the Great One. McGrady outside. Williamson outside. Clock at 6. Inside. And the rejection by Towns.
Love the hustle from Towns right there. Boy, engaged defensively. Not how they hoped to start this half. 1 for 5, brick after brick. Let's start building the building.
And the timing just not there on that attempted alley-oop.
Just a missed connection, and it happens. I'm sure they will go back to it if given the opportunity. You simply must play better defense than that. This guy is too good from distance.
And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Pacers trail by 21. And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. And now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line. The 76ers in second.
Yeah, they were incredibly accurate on free throws last season. They are an organization that doesn't neglect an important part of the game.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to go on Penny Hardaway. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Here's Rose. Out of hand on it.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Here's McGrady. And the rejection by Holmgren.
Long 7-1 with that 7'6" wingspan. Holmgren can alter a block just about every shot in his vicinity.
Rose, that's good.
Well, that's his second 3 of the game. 1 in the first half, 1 here.
Pass to Hardaway. Kicks it out to Williamson. Fires the 3. A shot by McGrady, no good.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
It's Thomas outside. The 76ers leading by 18. It's rebounded by Indiana. Holmgren's got 6 rebounds now in the game. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Holmgren. Holmgren's got 3 assists in the game. Here's Williamson driving to the basket and finished off by Williamson.
Well, what a dunk artist this guy is. Whenever Williamson takes flight, you're just expecting to see something special.
Rose passes to Thomas. Five on the clock. Holmgren trying to get open, and the basket by Thomas. Thomas got 17.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and Coach knows it.
Well, the best players, to me, deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Towns, a screen on Hardaway. Here's Thomas, and so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team.
And let's check out some of the numbers here on Karl Anthony Towns. Last season, he played outstanding. 15th in free throw percentage. And he was also extremely dependable behind the three-point line, finishing the season among the top 20 in three-point percentage.
And let's again give him credit for knocking down free throws at such a torrid pace. He was operating in a steady groove all last season. Pass to Yao. Out to Hardaway. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Hardaway has got 5 points now in the quarter. And it's Rose with the ball for the Indiana Pacers. Now Anunoby. McGrady covering. Here's Thomas. Rebound by Yao. Yao's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Outside Hardaway. Pass to Yao. Here's the great one. Another three for Philadelphia.
Well, all night he has made an impact at the offensive end. Now he's trying to shut the door.
Now here's Rose. He's guarded close. He gets that one. Rose has got 10 points here in the second half.
Well, you love the attitude of Derrick Rose. You want to play great defense? No problem. I can still finish.
McGrady dishes to Hardaway. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Another three for Philadelphia.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Towns in the corner. Rose gets a wide open look. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 5 assists in the game.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Here's Thomas. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
This is the strength we talk about when we reference Cam Thomas. It's hard to knock this guy off balance.
The 76ers making a switch here. One of the best 3-and-D wings in the league. Let's start with OG Anunoby, who excels from the corner.
And Kevin, about 45% on quarter threes the last couple seasons. So OG can space that floor horizontally. That's in addition to his elite defensive ability.
Yao with the block. O'Neal outside. Pass to McGrady. Back to O'Neal. Over Thomas. And he can't bank that one in. Pacers trail by 16. Holmgren up top. Guarded by O'Neal. Down low. Here's Towns. And it's rebounded by Mashburn. Mashburn's got his 5th rebound in this one.
I think he's got to settle down because right now it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter he has been completely bothered.
And Yao slams it in.
Now check out Yao doing big man things. I mean, this guy's size makes those openings easy picking.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. A move that likely helped the league's parity has been shortening max contract lengths. Commissioner Silver says we used to refer to it as dead money, a star player toward those end years sitting on the bench. We've reduced max contracts to 5 years, and in some cases 6. This way, it moves to more pay for performance. Kevin?
I think, DA, that's a pretty good business decision. It's going to have nice ramifications. And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. The Pacers making a switch here. Nembhard's checked in. Here is Rose. He's got 20. Anunoby outside. Back to Rose. Fires from 14. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Rose has got 15 points here in the second half.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Yao the pass to the great one. And here is McGrady. Nembhard covering. And that one's good. McGrady's got 12 in the game.
This guy is cooking right now. He is leading them on the offensive end as they remain in front here.
Right side Rose. And it's good, 2 points. Rose has got 24 points.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
O'Neal passes to the great one. Out to the right wing. Puts up a 3. Ashburn, no good.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
The great one passes to Mashburn. To the paint. Here's Yao. It's rebounded by Anunoby.
Boy, he did everything right till he got to the rim. He needs to finish that.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And with each passing season, DB, OG Anunoby seems to keep getting more and more versatile.
You are exactly right, Kevin. What we know unequivocally is this is one of the best cross-positional defenders in the league. One of those guys that's truly capable of guarding 1 to 5. But his willingness to be a three-point threat, an offensive rebound, and put it on the deck is exactly what you're talking about.
There's a screen. McGrady. Good on the triple. McGrady's got 7 points for the quarter.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. How he did last season. Averaged about 13 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And most important of all is his passing. He's a terrific distributor in their offense.
But it's certainly one of his best attributes, creating offense even when it looks like there's nothing there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. DeBusschere comes in for Chandler. And Thomas subbed in for Keontae George. Knocked away. The great one passes to Williamson. Here's Mashburn. Good, and the assist goes to Williamson. Williamson's got 6 assists now in the game.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
To the inside. And the dunk by Holmgren.
And attacking the rim. Holmgren making excellent use of that height inside.
Here's the great one. Nembhard covering. Good on the bucket.
Well, they're just riding the hot hand down the stretch, and he's been in a zone all night.
Outside Thomas. 4 seconds left. The shot misses.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
And so it's Philadelphia closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. We come back right after this. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
How about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
Coming onto the floor for the 76ers, number 7, Jason the Great One.
Outside, George, back to Thomas. Here's DeBusschere, and he drops it in from the low post.
Well, we know Cam Thomas can score, but nice facilitating right there. Set up the open man.
Into the lane. O'Neal misses. Pacers trail by 21, and it's Towns.
Oh. You've got to be kidding. How about the creativity, the athleticism? That's a rare combination for a guy his size. Go to work, Cat.
Price, the pass to the great one. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Pass to O'Neal. Lays it up and banks it in. O'Neal's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Here's the great one, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Here's Thomas, and the Pacers tack on 2 more.
When Cam Thomas gets going, folks, he can get as hot as anyone in this league.
The great one passes to Williamson. Basket counts.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
O'Neal against Thomas. in the league trying to get a bit more competition in the All-Star game. Greg, you got any ideas there?
Well, cash prizes seem to work well for the in-season tournament. Even a little something might help up the ante just a bit.
On the wing, George connects from three-point range.
And developing that three-ball shot, George is putting in the work now.
O'Neal kicks to Price. Here's the great one. Trying to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Here's Nembhard. A three-pointer off the mark.
There's some defense for you. For someone who's as good at shooting the three ball as he is, you need a defender who's equally good at guarding against it.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. O'Neal looking around. Williamson outside. Pass to the great one. Out to Price. Shoots the three. Buries it from three-point range. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Philadelphia.
A high-effort brand of defense has been paying off for them in this one. They've managed to either block or alter a ton of their opponent's shots.
And their fast break has also been a key metric in this one. They have had a significant advantage in transition over the course of this game. Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
We know, Doris, that Towns might already be one of the best shooting bigs ever.
But Kevin, he flat stated and called himself the best shooting big of all time. He has an argument because not only has she shot the ball incredibly well from deep, even as his volume has gone up, his efficiency stays the same. This is a gifted offensive post player.
To Busher, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And so here is Indiana.
I see him.
Anunoby outside. Just 5 on the clock. Thomas against Price. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Well, after hitting one triple in the first half, it's been all radio silence since.
Here's Holmgren. The kick out to Anunoby. A pass to DeBusschere. And the Pacers can't get it to go. McGrady against Thomas. To the left wing. The great one. And another one falls. Amazing.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. And Rick Carlisle decides to call timeout. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team.
Here are your Indiana base minutes.
for Indiana. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Booz Ellis is checked in for Williamson. Now, here is DeBusschere. Now, Nembhard. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Booz Ellis with the ball. There's the lob to the hoop and finished off by Yao.
And given how huge Ming is, he makes alley-oops look easy. Just throw it up his way and he'll figure out a way to find it and finish it.
A pass to DeBusschere. Now Rose puts up a deep three. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Rose has got 27.
And when he gets it going, this is what can happen. They need to think about the double team now.
Rose against Price. Here's the great one. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Rose.
Obviously, Yao is just so huge defensively, it's almost impossible to guard him legally.
Doris, why is there so much parity around the NBA now?
Yeah, Kevin, I think the new salary cap rules have certainly contributed to what we're seeing in terms of that parity. Super teams are more difficult to assemble. The talent is more evenly spread. And obviously, it has made for a greater level of competition. What could be better?
Price, the pass to the great one. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Booz Ellis with the ball. And the rejection by Holmgren.
Wow, Chet Holmgren sending it back. He is willing to take on any kind of challenge.
Floats it up for Holmgren. It's stolen by Booz Ellis. The great one passes to Yao. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Yao's got 10 points in just the second half.
You love that this guy doesn't get down on himself after a rough first half. Keep your composure and keep grinding.
Towns kicks to Holmgren. Pass to Rose. It's blocked. The great one passes to McGrady.
And watching McGrady, you see the length and athleticism. He's a matchup nightmare for most teams.
First free throw is good. And Indiana making a change here. Thomas is checked in.
Taking 2 shots.
He doesn't get the second one. And Chet Holmgren's been a great player from day one, Doris. What do you like most about his game?
I don't know which aspect to pick. This guy is a great rim protector. He can shoot the basketball from three-point territory and with great range from 3. But maybe my favorite aspect is the competitive toughness he brings on a nightly basis.
Well, McGrady is just going off right now. He's enjoying himself and going after buckets with reckless abandon.
And here's Rose. Anunoby outside. Outside Thomas. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know,
good, he hits again.
A 60-piece, goodness. And it's not his first of the season.
Raleigh is tied for the 4th most 60-point games during a single season. Just incredible. And the league limiting players from making public trade demands. Which I guess makes sense. It's a big change from the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it saves franchises from being put in a tough spot. Keeps a player's trade value high, which helps the team they're leading.
And here's Rose outside. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Rose has got 32 points in the game. Here's O'Neal. And another assist for him. Dishing it all over the place in this one.
He's tallying them up in bunches.
Indiana's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the 4th and been successful 3 times. And Towns throws it down.
Boy, this guy has been on a mission. Karl Anthony Towns will not be denied on the offensive end of the floor.
Yao, the pass to the great one. Here's Mashburn. Shoots it. It's rebounded by Indiana. Anunoby's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here is Rose. Pass to Anunoby. Now Thomas. Over Mashburn. That's good from Thomas on the assist by Anunoby. Thomas got 26.
That mid-range is where Thomas may be his most effective and confident.
It's stolen by Rose. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Anunoby left side. Oh, and the jam by Rose.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Here's Mashburn. Just 4 to shoot. Over Thomas. Good on the short little jump shot.
And whether it's from deep, inside, mid-range, Jamal Mashburn is at home as a scorer.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the 76ers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for the Great Ones.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
Price, he's checked in for Philadelphia.
Pacers foul. Cameron Thomas. 3rd personal foul. 4th team foul.
And he makes the first.
Shooting for Philadelphia, the Great One. Taking 2 shots.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 56 seconds left to play here in the 4th. Rose passes to Towns. And that one is off. Good work defensively by Yao. Out left to the wing. Here's the Great One, defended by Towns. He gets it in there.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question, they've got hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
Well, how about the heart on display here tonight from Rose? Just flawless in his attack at the rim. Boy, it's tough to match his quickness.
Hammers the alley-oop through.
But the truth is, they've had control of this game.
And I couldn't agree more. What makes it that much more impressive, they're doing it on the road.
And the basket by Rose.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And right now, Greg, he is doing a great job delivering for this team, productive and efficient.
Here's the Great One. Yet another bucket. He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
You get the sense he just can't miss.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easy.